Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast, featuring Commissioner Christine King, where all voices are heard.
Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast, where all voices are heard. I am your host, Christine King, Chairwoman of the City of Miami Commission and Commissioner for the beautiful District 5. Today, my guests are NFL greats.
Tutu Atwell.
Jarvis Brownlee Jr.
They are in the NFL. Tutu has played for some time now. He's with the Los Angeles Rams. And Jarvis, you are ending your rookie season, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How was last year's season for the two of you?
First off, my season was great. I had a record-breaking season with my yards and receptions.
How many yards did you get?
I had 546 yards. I've been improving since my rookie year, and I'm just moving forward and going up. Last year was my last year of my contract, and then I got an extension with the Los Angeles Rams. So I want to thank God for that, and it was great last year.
Okay.
For me, it was my rookie season, so it was the first time I got to experience everything when it comes to the National Football League. And I think I did pretty good. I had a solid rookie year. And as far as winning-wise, I think we could do better than that. But otherwise, I think, it was a great experience. A lot of lessons I learned. And, I just look forward to just keep improving and progressing on my way to every year. And hopefully I just get better and better each and every year.
So for my listening audience and my viewing audience, these young men are hometown heroes, Miami born and bred, and they also give back to the community, which is why I wanted to have them on the podcast, because they are now inspirations to our younger folks who hope, aspire to live their dream, which is what you guys are doing, actually living your dream.
Yes.
But most important is that your service, what you guys do for giving back to the community. I know I had a guest on, and they said that when you follow God, you win. Do you guys feel that as well in your career? And I know both of you started playing football when you were little.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about that?
Before every game, I pray, just ask God to get through this game and guide me through this game. But I feel like it helps me a lot. Before I walk out the tunnel, I just close my eyes and talk to him and, pray for a healthy game, everything to go well in my favor, and just pretty much just get through the season.
My family, I grew up in a Christian home, so that's kind of a ritual for me every day. And, every day before I go out there, just heading to the stadium, I kind of got a ritual thing where I pray. And then when I go out there for pregame, I kind of pray again with me and James. And then before I walk out there for the official game, I pray again. But usually my mom or like my grandma, they already have been sent me a text or a quote to just a spiritual quote, just lift me up or just give me that positive energy. So I think it helped me a lot. It's a great thing, and I plan on continuously doing it.
Your family is going to be so proud of you for saying that. They're going to be so proud of you for saying that. What would you consider the highlight of your career? Like, what was the best moment for you playing from your entire career, from when you were a kid, high school? What would you say, like, what moment stands out the most?
Mine's pretty much, just going through the process of getting drafted. And because, I was a high first-round pick, a second-round pick. And, my last year, my third year, 2020, me playing at the University of Louisville, I had a bad injury. I had a stress fracture in my L5. So, and all the teams, NFL teams, was looking forward to my 40 time. So, and because I was the fastest. And that's what everybody wanted me to do, run the fast 40. And I had to cut my season short because of my back. So pretty much, I declared for the draft early, and I went to go train right away. And I didn't do no training. Like when I say no training, I did straight PT. And once it was time for me to run the 40 training, I ran like a 4.5, and I ain't never run a 4.5, 4.6 like that before. So it was like depressing. I'm calling my mom, calling my dad. I'm crying because I could go from first round, second round to undrafted, the seventh, the sixth round, or whatever the case may be. And that wasn't my goal. It wasn't my goal. It was my dad's goals, So he was like, man, just keep going. My mom was like, pray. We prayed, kept going, kept pushing. And just the experience, the trainers kept helping me and pushing me getting back right. And when I ran again, I ran like a 4.3, lower 4.3, 4.2. And I was like, look at God, and I was back. So when I ran my 40, I ran a 4.32, and I did good at pro day. And I want to say that was the most highlight of my year.
Because you had to work for it.
Because I had to work.
You had to work for it.
I had to go get it.
Yep, you had to go get that.
And I ain't want to let nobody down. So,
how about you?
I think my best highlight was my last year at Louisville. I think that's one of the first time I actually enjoyed football in a while. It was just fun. I had made a lot of bonds up there. I had great bonds with my coaches, and just going through the draw process as well. Coming out my season, I kind of had an injury what set me back as well. And, I wasn't ready to run. I wasn't prepared to work out and none of that. So I was kind of going through, adversity a little bit. But, eventually I came back my last game for the ACC championship. And basically, I accomplished everything I wanted to that year. I had a good, solid season. But, coming out that year, I think I was projected to go undrafted. So, I was kind of a little angry coming out. And then, I think all my invites I had, to the Senior Bowl, to the East versus West, they all had took it from me because they didn't know if I was going to be able to come and play and perform. So for me, I just had to lock in and focus back up and, get back to the ground. And, sooner or later I got the Reese's invite. And, I went out there to do one job, and that was to show my talent, so that I could perform, that I deserved to be here, that, I was one of the top corners in my draft class. And that's what I did. So it was a great process. I enjoyed it. And for the experience, I'll tell anybody to do it. It's worth it.
I'm glad the two of you spoke of moments of adversity when you weren't at the top, but you had to fight back to get where you are. Because a lot of people would look at you and think it's just easy, and they don't know the back story of what you had to do to get to the NFL, to realize your dream. And I think it's important for our young people to understand there may be what somebody would call a setback, but it's not a setback. It's an opportunity to be even greater, and to not let that discourage you, but to let it encourage you to keep on going. So I love that you shared that moment. I would have thought you would have said your greatest moment was when you had that interception, your rookie season, your first interception. But okay. So
More to come.
there's more to come too. So we are looking at the new season, the next season. What are your hopes for our new season, other than your team going to the Super Bowl? What are you looking to accomplish this season?
Me, for real, just, I signed a 1-year deal back with the Rams. So, my accomplishment is just to, improve and get 700 yards, 800 yards again, so I could go back to the table and get another contract. So that's my whole goal right now, and just be a better man and a better teammate. Be there for the rookies that's coming in and lead by example.
For me, I'll say just being better than I was last year. A better version of me, like I said. It was a lot of lessons I learned just going back over film and seeing, there was a lot of plays out there I could have made that I left on the table. And just looking back at that, you gain from that. You progress off that, and just becoming more of a vocal leader. Speaking out more. I think from my last year, my first rookie year, I put the lead on notice. So everybody is trying to see if can I do it again? Is he gonna be the same? So for me, it's just being consistent and coming back with 10 times harder than I did last year.
You kind of had a Tom Brady moment last year, right?
Yeah.
Where the number one got hurt or something, and you had to step in.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, yay. Tell me a little bit about, for example, you have contributed to our back to school giveaway every year. You've contributed to it. You have volunteered for us. And what do you do outside of football? What are some of the things that you love to do outside of being a professional football player?
For me, I like to, me personally, I like to give back with my foundation. I like to play video games on my off time. And pretty much, just hang with my friends and just have a good time.
I'm 23 years old, so I'm still young. Everything I do still is kind of kiddie, but I just like to have fun and enjoy life. I love to be around kids and just be around the future generation and get them hope. So.
Well, you're actually a little modest. Didn't you have a modeling experience this year in Paris?
Yes.
How was that?
Great experience. I think I'm gonna go every year.
Yeah.
I love how how they move out there, how it's operated. So.
I love Paris too. It's a very special town.
No doubt.
It's just different, right? The vibe is different.
Yeah, I change up the food scenery a little bit though.
Yeah. That too. What's your workout like? What's your daily work? I worked out today, right? I'm a runner. I ran the marathon in February, the half marathon, 13.1. And now I've started doing strength training because maybe I'm OLD. And that's not funny. You're supposed to say no. But, so you keep going, and it'll improve my running game, right? So I started strength training recently. What does your workout look like? Do you work out off season, or do you just completely take it off? What's your meal plan like?
My workout plan, so after the season's over with, depending on how many games we play, well, make it to the playoffs and wherever the case, when I come home, I take a few months off. I take a few months off. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta rest my body. My body be,
really?
Yes, my body be.
But you don't crave it. For me, if I go more than a week or two without running, I get anxious. I don't feel
Right.
I don't feel.
I mean,
gotta get out there and run.
Cause we going for like 17 to probably 20 weeks of playing football nonstop. You got meetings, you got practice, you got weight room for 17 or 20 weeks. And so when you off season, you like, man, I don't want to pick up no football. I don't want to do nothing football related or nothing like that. I just want to get my rest my body. With all the bruises I had, the bruises or something might be hurting, your knees, your arms, whatever can we let it heal. You know what I'm saying? But for me, when I come home, I'll probably start working out towards probably like this time, and I work out with my coach, my high school coach, Coach Reggie, like just to get back in shape. I do a lot of running on the track. I go work out the fire department, and that's how I get in my stamina back and stuff like that. And then I just do routes. That's pretty
What's
much
a
my
route?
Like running routes. Like I'm a receiver, so I run like
Oh,
routes, catch
like
the ball.
okay.
I might do a little bit of
I really
lifting weights here and there.
I really just started following football because literally this young man is my nephew.
Yes.
Right. So we're following his career.
We're gonna teach you.
And like I'm learning so I'm like, a route? What the hell is a route?
Yeah, you're gonna teach you.
Right? So I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm watching. There's this guy that has a podcast for the Tennessee Titans on YouTube, and he was talking about you. That's how I started watching his podcast. So I'm really learning as we're going.
Yeah.
So are you off season not working out or?
See, he done been through the process more than me, more longer. So for me, this was my first one. I probably took a couple of months off, but for me, I can't sit down for long. Like,
I be trying to tell him.
He be trying to make me sit down. Like, why you working out right now? And I just gotta do something. Like, I be moving too much, so
I mean, it ain't bad.
I just like moving and gotta get something
That's
done.
how
I
I
feel like
am.
if I sit down for like a month or something, I've been sitting down too long. So at least let me go run a hill or something, or at least lift a weight. Feel like I got 1% better at doing something. So
That's kind of how I feel about like I really do get anxious if I go a week or two without running or walking. Now I've taken to walking with a weighted vest, and I love that. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Me walking with music or running with music, it's meditative. Now, one thing I do want to do, and I want to ask you about this, I want to do the cold bath, the ice.
Cold tub? Oh,
The ice
no.
What,
You on your own on that one. I am.
you don't like it?
What? No.
But isn't it really
It
good
worked.
for like
It worked.
yeah, and inflammation and
It worked. And one story I could tell you, when I first got to Louisville, we was bad. That was the worst time playing football. We went 2-10, and like it was bad. The whole facility was like, who cares? And they used to try to make us get in the cold tub, and like when I mean like the players, we was so bad. It was like, oh no, I'm not getting in the cold tub. Like we losing. Who cares? And like the games, it was like, oh, it's just another game. We're gonna lose anyway. That's how bad it was. So they fired. This was in 2018. They fired the coaching staff, and when the new coaching staff came, man, they came. Oh, y'all gonna do this and that, in the meetings. So we looking at them like, man, this our school. Y'all just came here. Like, what y'all talking about? Man, they put down on us, and it's so funny because they made us get in the cold tubs, and then I hated it. Like, I hated it. They had to force me to get in the cold tub. That's how, because I never got in the cold tub before. So when they came, they made me get in the cold tub. But what I could say is, I thank them for that, for coming and being hard on us, because look where I'm at now.
right?
And I used to get into it with the coach every day, like the strength coach every day, because how we was from the last year, the previous year. And I had to let myself know, like, let me trust the process. And I trust the process, and now me and him the best of friends.
Are you still doing cold plunges?
I do it sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
How about you?
me, I ain't gonna lie, I do it a lot. Like
You do it a lot?
I do a majority of every week. Now I'm on off season. I haven't been doing it, but like during the season or when training camp start, I do it like 2 days out the week. But it's a mental thing, though. Like, I don't like it, but it's a mental thing. So, but the hardest part is the first minute. Once you get past the first minute, then your body get numb.
Well,
so
how long do you stay in it?
I stand there for like 15, 20 minutes.
What?
But you can do contrast.
Yeah. So you
What's
can do
that?
hot and cold.
So you do probably like what, 2 minutes of
Yeah.
hot, 2 minutes of cold, 2 minutes of hot. But you finishing hot or cold?
I think you finish in hot. You finish in hot.
Yeah. So cold, hot, 2 minutes each.
Yeah,
So that's what we
I
did.
really want to try that.
We could try it.
I want to try that.
We could set something up and try it.
I want to try that.
I
We
think
should
you need to
record
get
it
in like
for-
a whirlpool instead of ice, though.
Now you got to put ice.
I tried to make an ice bath at my house, but all the ice melted. I didn't have bags.
gotta have-
I got ice out of the freezer and
Nah,
dumped
you
it
gonna
in.
probably need about 10 bags of ice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna go somewhere.
You think
and
you ready for that?
I want to. I mean, listen. I'm not a puny human. I'm not a puny human, and I think that I just want to get that experience, and I think it will level up my. I'm very competitive. I wasn't satisfied with my time that I did the half marathon. This time, it was actually the worst. It was my worst. I did like 7 marathons, and I ran 26.2. And this last time was the worst. But I had the flu in January, so I couldn't run the whole of January. The longest run I did was 7 miles, and top of February, so I'm still recovering from the flu. I go out there and run. It was horrible. It was horrible. But I made it.
You made it though.
I made it. But like, I got to go next year because I didn't like my time, and I just want to do whatever I can to make it better.
Right.
To make my time better.
It's a challenge for sure.
It's for sure. It takes a special kind of somebody to say they're going to go run 13 miles.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Running days over with.
Well, I mean, but you got to run for practice, right?
Not that long.
Not that long.
Well, that is
About like an hour.
I be in practice like after I do a few plays, I need some water.
You know who you sound like?
I need some water.
I interviewed T.T. Terry, and she was like, I ain't gonna lie, after the season, I don't do nothing. I can't barely walk up the stairs, she said.
I be sore.
But it's a good sore.
Yeah,
no?
yeah, it's good,
Yeah,
but
like
the reason why I say that though is because you might have some nips and bruises like at the end of the season.
I often wonder about that. Like, I would see you guys get hit, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna feel that tomorrow.
Yes, you do. So
You do?
You have some nips and bruises. Like,
every
just
week.
think about when the season over with.
But you can't tell when you're watching it on TV because you bounce right back up and you get back, like.
Make it look good.
Make it look good, because I seen some stuff and I was like, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
But you get up and you run out there and you're back at it.
Yeah, but
I think I probably get an injury every game.
No.
Yeah. I'm about I weigh like 193, but I like to hit though, so it's a difference.
see, I get down, get out of bounds.
I be hitting a lot, so
Get out
I
of
be
bounds.
hurting.
Hey, I want to stand in the lead as long as I can.
That's true.
As long as I can. So hey, I'm getting out of bounds and I'm getting down.
It's a tough, because they're beating you up all the time.
like for my first season, I think I was consistent with the ice baths until I got to about like week 10. My body started hurting, like it started getting tough, and then
It is a
I
mental
couldn't
thing,
make it to the ice bath. So
Oh, wow.
And then some days you like,
just want to go
hey,
home.
we doing this again. We got probably about 10 more weeks ahead of us. Got to do this for 10 more weeks. Then you make it to Super Bowl. I mean, not Super Bowl, playoffs. Then you got to keep going. Sometimes be draining. I ain't gonna. Sometimes be
But
draining.
that's what you want. That's you.
True.
Aren't you living your goal? This is your dream, right?
It is.
And what does
Gotta
that
keep,
feel
gotta
like?
keep fighting.
Yeah, because you're living your dream. Not many people get to, the 1% of the 1% of the 1%
True.
make it to where you are. When I started, again, because of you, and I started learning about football and the whole process and what you have to go through and the draft and the this and that, I was like, wow, because there's so many people trying to do what you're doing. There's so many, so many people playing college football that don't make it to where you guys have made it. It's amazing. It's really a testament to your ability, your athleticism. And I don't know if you guys take that for granted, but from armchair athletes, it's a big deal. And for the little kids that are watching, that hope to, all of the little kids in the Optimist, remember when you played Optimist ball? All of those kids are like hoping to be where you are. Well, both of you graduated from university. So what would you tell younger folks about their education?
Stay in them books. Do what you got to do. Because, without that book and without them books and doing your work, you ain't going to be here. You got a lot of guys that go to lead and have to go back. And that wasn't really one of my goals to do, for real. So I had graduated high school early and graduated from University of Louisville early, just to get everything out the way so I don't have to go back. So that was pretty much one of my goals coming up. And then on top of that, my mom, she stayed on top of me and my brother so we could finish school and college early. So big shout out to my mom. So
You must.
Yeah, that was the main goal. Just get a degree before I even take off, because I did not want to go to the NFL and have to come back to college and be in the classroom. So, and then that was my family. That was the number one thing though for me to just get a degree. So I had to accomplish that not only for me, but mostly for them.
That's good. That's great. And our young people need to know that education is important.
And I think on my dad's side, I was the what? I think I was the only one to graduate in college. So
I think I was the first. I don't know.
Good job. But you won't be the last in the family.
Sure.
Because you're setting the example. So now we've gotten to a point in my podcast where I ask you a series of questions. It's not meant for you to think about it too long. Just whatever comes to your head in that moment. Do you have a favorite song?
Favorite song? I like Lil Baby.
Which Lil Baby song?
I don't have a favorite song.
Okay.
So
like when you're coming through the tunnel, you're not listening to music or?
Doing pregame warm up. When I come to this, warming up, I listen to a mixture of everybody, like Ghana, Lil Baby, Lil Key. I mix it up.
Okay.
Some of my homeboys.
You don't have a favorite song?
Some of my homeboys.
A favorite song?
Uh-huh.
No, I think like when it get closer to that time, like to walk out on the field, I'm listening to Young Boy all day.
Young Boy.
Young Boy. Shout out to Young Boy. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a favorite book?
One of the books I was reading, it was like probably like a year ago or two. It was called The Coffee Bean. We had a guy come up and, pretty much talk to us because we had different speakers come to talk to us during training camp. And he had these different types of books that he wrote. And The Coffee Bean was more about him and his wife, about their relationship and everything like that. So I was into that, was just reading that one. So that was like a year ago.
Okay.
I actually just ordered a book yesterday, the Kobe Bryant book, The Mama Mentality. And I think I read like a couple pages of it. My friend, he has it, Jerry and Jones. And I read like 3-4 pages out of it. And from first 3 pages, it caught my attention. But just seeing how Kobe, how he grew up, how he persevered through hard times, the things he went to get to where he was when he got there, how consistency he was with just his rituals and his pregame and things like that. So, I look forward to finishing that book probably in a month.
Okay. Well, I read every day. I'm always reading. I love reading. If you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would you want to break bread with?
Kim Kardashian.
I think you could make that happen. You are in Los Angeles.
I think I can too.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian, yeah.
Okay, Kim, you heard that?
Oh,
all right.
Hilarious.
Right. Okay. And you?
Oh, no.
She can teach me something. She can teach me a lot.
Oh, no.
You don't know who you would want to have dinner with? Living or dead?
We going to double date. Chloe, get the sister.
Or Khloe Kardashian.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that for you. Now, if you can give your younger self advice, what would you tell yourself?
What I'll tell myself is, for me, just do the same thing that I always did, I was doubting my whole life. I was too small. Oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. And people still doubt me to this day. Oh, why we drafted him this high? And, oh, he's a bust. We should have picked this other guy than him. I just look at it as motivation. So if I was to tell myself, man, keep pushing and don't change nothing.
That's good advice.
If I had to tell my younger self,
well, you are still young. You've reminded us. You're still young. Okay.
I'll tell my younger self, trust the process. Believe in God. Lean on your support. And, never give up. Keep going, even when it get tough. It's not a successful story without a struggle. So it's a time when you're going to face adversity, and it's a time where you're going to have to bounce back. And face reality.
That's good advice. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on my podcast.
Appreciate
We
you.
appreciate
Make sure you make your whole team watch my podcast.
Okay, we got you.
So, this is another episode of the Kingdom Podcast in the Can. I thank my guests for being on my podcast and for doing what you do, not only inspiring young people, because I don't know if you guys really understand that and appreciate. You may not think that you're a role model, but you are to several people. So thank you for being on my podcast. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep continuing to be great, and I will see you at our back to school.
Yes, you will.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.